Discipline. Are you disciplined? Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have discipline? Discipline is not something that you are, okay? You are not disciplined. You get to have discipline. And that in and of itself is a major shift because you see, if you say to yourself that I am disciplined, then whenever you are not disciplined, you begin shaming yourself. You begin guilt tripping yourself for not having the discipline that you thought that you were disciplined, that you are disciplined. Whereas you can say that I have discipline, and you can have that discipline energy be a visitor. You can have it stay and embody that discipline, and then you can leave it aside. I think that when we expect ourselves to be disciplined all the time, day in and day out, from moment to moment, then an accumulation of tense energy can fester, okay? Whereas if you allow yourself and you give yourself permission to utilize discipline when needed, and then you can put it aside, that is when you truly embody your masculine essence. It's having the awareness and even having the discipline to know when to apply discipline and when not to. Because there are times where it is necessary in order to cultivate something, cultivate a relationship, cultivate a project, cultivate yourself, where discipline is needed, where it is actually really helpful. But it is not helpful to always be applying it day in and day out, always and forever, because you also need to give yourself time to be doing nothing, to not be disciplined, but to rather surrender and allow creativity to flow through you and to you. If you're constantly in a state of needing to be disciplined, checking things off the list, you'll find yourself empty, man. You'll find yourself so disconnected. You won't have the capacity to connect with your body and your soul. You'll just be in your mind. And that is really destructive. That can be really destructive. Discipline is most helpful when it is applied to something with a certain intention behind it. So do you have an intention behind your discipline? Or is it just being disciplined for the sake of being disciplined? Finding worthiness in the hustle and in the discipline rather than seeing that discipline is just another tool. It's just another energy that you can apply to create your reality. Reflect on this. And I am here to support you in reflecting upon this too. And actually not just reflecting upon it, but actually also beginning to be more discerning about discipline. Whether you see yourself as disciplined or you allow yourself to just have discipline whenever it is useful. Trust me when I say I use discipline as an energy whenever I see that it is necessary for me to ascend in my journey, ascend in my consciousness, ascend in relationships and projects in my business. So I can utilize this masculine virtue of discipline, but I'm not constantly disciplined. I'm not. I am what I am. And I am not disciplined. I can have discipline and then I can leave it. I can have it and I can leave it. And so can you. That being said, in the beginning stages of you maybe going from procrastinating and basically having no grip on discipline whatsoever, it can be helpful to have a picture of you, right? Have a picture of you in your mind of what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like to have that sense of discipline so that you can see yourself, hear yourself, feel yourself having that discipline. When you can see it, you can more easily embody it. And you can ask yourself in any situation, whom am I embodying right now? Am I embodying the version of me that is having discipline right now? Or am I embodying the version of me that is not having that discipline? And really begin to see things in the long scope of things, the long term. In the long term, would it be beneficial for you to apply this discipline right now to what it is that you're engaging in? Or is it not? Maybe it is time to also see that doing nothing, sitting in silence, going for a walk is also a form of discipline. It's a discipline for your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. It is even really productive for whatever you have at hand that you're doing and applying discipline for. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what is discipline for me? You're welcome to join the Bloom Beyond tribe by going to bloombeyond.com/apply. You can then get in there for a free monthly cohort to be able to get coached in actually taking on this havingness of discipline rather than the need to be so disciplined. Do you know what I mean? It's not about you being disciplined. It's about you having discipline whenever needed, whenever it is most helpful for you in whatever you engage in. And also, if you find yourself totally off whack, totally lost, totally just disconnected from any discipline whatsoever, and you find yourself procrastinating, then I am there to support you too in being able to connect with your values, your morals, your ethics, what you stand for, return back home to yourself, because it is from this place that discipline can be really helpful. That is when you can actually use discipline for what it's worth. It's not going to be helpful to use discipline if you're mindlessly using it and you don't know thyself. Does that make sense? It is tremendously helpful if you do know what you're here for and then applying it to ascend, to spread your message, to spread what you stand for, and to embody what it is that you are truly. So go to bloombeyond.com/apply to apply for a free monthly cohort of coaching, and I might see you on the other side. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.